Hi guys, good afternoon. Happy Saturday to you. I hope you're all staying cool today and wherever you are in the country. It's pretty hot here in California, but anyway, welcome back once again to the EdWord. I'm your host, Eddie. I apologize for the delay in this video, but as you know, I am behind on a couple of my shows, but I am catching up as I'm proving to you now. I will be doing my episode review for the most recent episode of CBS's Zoo, which premiered earlier this week on the past Tuesday night. So if you're not caught up on Zoo, if you're behind by one or two episodes, do not keep watching or listening, as I will be going into big spoilers, especially the ending. So please be warned, big spoilers are to follow. This is your final warning in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beep, beep, beep. Spoiler alert. Uh, anyway, good episode. Very good episode. It was an episode of promising leads, disappointments, scary ass spiders, mutant spiders nonetheless, jellyfish that can cause hurricanes, and oh my god, Jackson's father is still alive after all these years. How about that? It was something. So of course Jamie's reunited with the team. By the way, FYI, Jamie, poor Chloe's dead. The new chick, Dariella, sort of killed her, but she didn't really have a choice. A lot of stuff has happened. We've run into a lot of crazy mutant animals since you've been gone. We've missed you, though. Great to have you back. And I also get why Dariella said, okay, that was a free one when Jamie first punched her. But then when she kept it up, I'm like, you're going to get your ass handed to you by an army ranger. Don't keep it up, Jamie. One punch is okay, but don't do it. Don't do it. But she kept going. Although I did appreciate and like how cool Dariella was and understood why Jamie would be so angry and upset with her. I totally get it. I really do. So I'm glad they're able to, get that out of the way. Also, speaking of getting wailed on, I knew Jackson wasn't turning into a human mutant much like Kovacs had when he was wailing on the mercenary guy. But I could see why Dariella and Abe thought he might have been. But Jackson was simply just expressing a lot of pent-up rage and frustration. He's still grieving for the loss of his beloved Chloe, as we all are. Poor Chloe. It was sad to see her go, but poor Jackson, he was hurt especially the hardest because he had feelings for her. He probably loved her in the short time they knew each other, and this was his way of expressing his frustration and rage, and of course, who better to take it out on than a nasty bad guy who's trying to stop you. And I was surprised Jackson kept hitting him for as hard as he did, but it's like, tell Davies I'm coming for him, because he's like, once this is over, it's over for Davies, because of course he probably ultimately blames Davies for Chloe's fate in the first place. I loved the animal they went after in this episode were tarantulas, because tarantulas give me the willies. They always have. I don't know why, but... And this episode was very reminiscent of a couple of spider movies that I adore, both Arachnophobia from 1990 and Kingdom of the Spiders, featuring William Shatner, of all people, as the man who's fighting killer spiders all over the ranch. Sorry. That was me doing an impression of Jim Carrey doing an impression of William Shatner, by the way, from Ace Ventura. Anyway, but I really loved that entire sequence where they go to the stadium or the mall, wherever it is, to go looking for spiders in exchange for the poisonous jellyfish they need in order to continue their research to find a cure for the animals and for poor Jackson before he becomes a mutant. And it had the feel of like a horror movie and an old sci-fi movie featuring giant killer spiders. And the spiders were pretty damn scary, actually. I was like, yeesh. The CG wasn't that great for some of the more close-up for the more aggressive ones. But the other ones, I think, were all fairly real for the most part. In fact, it'll be interesting to hear if the actors actually had to have physically alive tarantulas on their shoulders and their heads during those scenes. That would be interesting to hear. But yeah, that was a pretty exciting, pretty scary part of the episode where they're catching spiders. And at first, when Abe was bit, I was like, no, no, not Abe. We just lost Chloe. And then I thought, okay, wait a minute. We just lost Chloe. There's no way in hell they're going to kill off another major character so soon. And I thought he had dropped the anti-venom completely. But fortunately, the vent wasn't that far down, as Dariella was able to reach down and bring it back up through the vent and quickly inject Abe after she had injected herself because they were both bitten. So I was like, oh, thank God, okay, Abe is okay. Whew, and he didn't lose the anti-venom, so that's awesome. And then I also thought it was interesting how obviously something is starting to develop, or at least like something could be developing between Jamie and Logan, the guy who was sent to take the leopard from her back in the woods, but it has now since earned her trust. Still hard to say if I can fully trust him or not. He may be an agent of Davies, or he may have ulterior motives. It is hard to say, but I want to believe he's going to end up being one of the good guys. And then it also seems like Mitch doesn't seem to be a big fan of his either. However, he's not outwardly outspoken of his disdain for him. He's putting up with him for the moment being. And then it was a little unclear as to whether or not they were implying that Mitch's stepmom, the woman who owns the plane and is helping them in their little operation here, if she's the agent or the inside man for Davies, because Jamie seemed to imply that she was in support of Radiant Global becoming a part of the solution and using the NOAA objective. So it's like, were they implying or saying that she was the one who sold them out to Davies when they arrived, when they returned with the tarantulas to give back to the crazy anti-venom smuggler guy? I don't know, it was hard to say, it was kind of confusing, but I think they meant to imply that this woman cannot be trusted. Out of all the characters, she cannot be trusted. Logan is a bit more trustworthier than this woman is, so it's hard to say. But a very entertaining episode, pretty shocking with that ending. It makes you wonder how long Davies has had Robert Oz detained, and for how long, and for why. Like, why detain this man out of all the scientists in the world? Well, obviously because he predicted that the animal apocalypse could and was going to happen, but as to how it was going to happen, maybe that's what Davies needed him for. I'm sure we'll find out sooner or later, and hopefully we'll get a nice reunion episode between the Oz boys soon enough. And it also made me wonder, what the hell ever happened to Jackson's mom? Last we saw her was way back in season 1. She decided to stay in Botswana, Africa, after the horrific lion attacks. And, it's been at least 6 or 7 months, or at least a year, since the violent animal outbreak first happened. She may not still even be alive, or maybe Jackson has lost touch with her. I don't know. I mean, I doubt it's that important to the story, but I am just kind of curious as to what happened to her. Because we saw what happened to Mitch's family, how they were evacuated, but no word on Jackson's family or his mom. But it keeps you engaged. That's what I like about Zoo. It keeps you guessing, it keeps you entertained, and it leaves you wanting more with each episode, just like any good show would. Well, guys, thank you so much for watching this review video here on the EdWord. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more episode review videos like this one as we continue to watch and enjoy Season 2 of Zoo, which premieres every Tuesday night on CBS. Check your local listings for times. Don't forget to check out my Facebook page in the description down below. I think you'll like what you see. What did you guys think of tonight's episode, the most recent episode? Leave your thoughts, opinions, and your feedback down below in the comments section. I'd love to hear from everybody. Thanks again for watching, and I will be seeing you later this afternoon, as I will be posting a couple of other videos on the EdWord. Stay tuned for those. And of course, until next time, may the Force be with you.